The view that patients battling eating disorders at ED Care can see represents the endless possibility that awaits them at the end of their treatment.
That's why every single person is here, is because it's a privilege to be able to walk side by side with our patients in their journey through recovery.
As difficult and as complicated eating disorders can be, the pandemic has only made the illness harder to fight.
It never stopped, the amount of patients. We never slowed down.
Brittany Sims is a primary therapist at the Eating Disorder Treatment Center.
And so because we have more patients on the waiting list, and it takes more time to get them in, so then they're coming in more ill. And so we definitely saw not only an increase in people reaching out, but also just the acuity was higher.
The National Eating Disorder Association has had a 40% increase in calls to their helpline since March 2020. And at ED Care, which has 4 locations across the country, they have seen a 33% increase in patients, and among them, an 80% increase in dangerous behaviors.
So those behaviors, we're talking restriction, binging, purging, compulsive exercise, laxative abuse.
Why this rise in numbers? Program Director Kiara Ebersviller says it just so happens that the conditions created by the pandemic, isolation, lack of control, higher anxiety, are ones that eating disorders thrive in.
If we're driven by things that we can control and all of a sudden everything's out of our control, if you can see immediate progress and something that you can impact right now in the moment in terms of counting calories, how far did I run, how long did I run, those are things that I can touch on right now, where I can feel good about what I've impacted.
Among mental illnesses, eating disorders have the highest rates of death. If you suspect your child or your loved one might be developing one, it is important to approach them from a place of care.
Asking how they're doing as they're trying to navigate this. And so I think it's asking questions, just being curious as opposed to kind of accusatory. So, hey, I'm noticing that you've been coming home with your lunch every day, and I'm just wondering, how are you doing?
Through the hardships, the staff at ED Care are blown away by the resilience of their patients and their ability to see hope, knowing that with the first step of seeking help can come life-saving healing.
They might be feeling so hopeless as the world is shutting down, and yet still are willing to hold some hope that things could be different for them, And so I think that's pretty remarkable.
I'm Vanessa Bishania reporting.